There's a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, just in case you didn't notice, and you really wouldn't notice based on how calm our weather was today. But Harvey is on the way to Texas. It's moving northwest at 10 miles an hour. It still has winds, maximum wind of 85 miles an hour. That makes it a Category 1, which is on the low end of the category scale. By the time it makes landfall, roughly 24 hours from now, it could be a Category 3. Now, it could be less, it could actually be more, but the odds are it's going to be a Category 3. Either way, the wind alone doesn't tell you the full story about what a tropical system is doing. Talk about exactly where the center will go. Well, these are computer projections going into Saturday morning. Again, landfall is likely tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, moving inland, and you would expect it to keep going. But not the case in this scenario. The reason why is the steering winds will be shifting, they will slow it down, and by Monday, it may backtrack on itself. By Tuesday, it may actually come back into the Gulf of Mexico before turning toward the northeast and drifting. So notice that's Tuesday. But even that doesn't tell you the full story. That shows you where the center will be. Now, when the center crosses warmer water, you expect it to get stronger. So that's one of the factors that goes into trying to predict what a hurricane or tropical storm is going to do. But this much we know. Storm surge from extreme wind is likely. If it's a Cat 3 with winds of 125 miles an hour, it could easily create storm surge of 6 to 12 feet. Not everywhere, but in the worst cases. Along with that, the moisture goes inland, and that could be rainfall of 1 to 2 to 3 feet over the course of several days. Tornadoes are also a risk. So all of those are the different threats that come along with the hurricane. It's not just the wind. It could be rain. It could be storm surge. It could be tornadoes. The hurricane warning right now covers the central coast of Texas. Around it, a tropical storm warning that covers the I-10 corridor between Houston and San Antonio. So it's not just going to be an impact at the coast, it's going to impact a lot of real estate. Now, in the forecast cone, here you see the wind and where the center is likely to be. Tomorrow morning, 110 miles an hour. Tomorrow evening, 125. And then after landfall, the wind begins to diminish. That's Saturday evening at 7 o'clock. But because the system will stall, it is totally unknown where it will meander after that point. Do note the winds staying at 40 miles an hour as we move through the weekend into early next week. Even if it drifts back toward Louisiana, for us, rain would be the only addition to our forecast, not wind and not necessarily flooding rain. It's a system that the hurricane hunters are still watching. From this morning to this afternoon, the NOAA and U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters have been in the storm, dropping weather instruments, measuring the wind, measuring the pressure, trying to figure out where the steering currents are going to move Hurricane Harvey.